I relapsed after a month of. No, I relapsed um, after a month of alcohol, and I relapsed after like 2 weeks of not smoking weed. And pretty much here is what I learned. I had, well, that day, well, yesterday, I had 4 drinks and a shot of gin, and then I only had like an edible and some of the pen and like some of a blunt, right? But um, I don't feel so bad after. I don't feel like more so like the hangover. It's just more so like I just have this like anxiety, you know, and kind of like not only that, besides like paying for my cousin's food for her birthday and stuff like that, I pretty much end up, you know, wasting a lot of money, in terms of like the drinks because they were like really expensive. I was, only got like four. And yeah, I don't like that anxiety the next day. But it's like in that sense is where I feel like shit, but not like physically, but like mentally where I feel like I let myself down and that, you know, it just feels like I'm like further away from the woman that I want to be. And also, I feel like you know what I'm saying, the more that I do kind of like hang around my family, the more that I kind of feel like I'm just being like tolerated in a sense. And it's like, you know what I'm saying, because of course, with my cousin, my other cousin, the one that I was talking about that introduced me to um the guy who smelled bad. And I'll talk about that. I'll touch on that later. But it just kind of feels like in a sense where it's like I feel like tolerated and I feel like I'm just like an item in a sense. I'm just like a wallet. And it's like even though I don't the thing is for me is I only partake when I'm outside with basically my friends or a family member. That's really it. But when I'm by myself, I don't really go out my way to like to get it, you know. That's really like I feel like that's the only time that I get to like actually like really be myself. But I still feel like to this day that I can't really truly be myself because I'm surrounded by people with like with a compromised brain. And like I said before, I also feel like I was talking about before, I felt like I'm just like a wallet, or I'm just like a way for, I'm a I'm just a supplier of like vices, even though I don't get it for myself. I don't do this for myself. I do it because like, I feel like I don't want to make, you know what I'm saying? In a sense, I feel like this relationship between me and my cousin, I feel like I don't, I feel like in a sense, I don't want to feel that angry energy, in a sense, if I don't have weed, or if I don't even suggest it, or because I'm trying not to smoke, or because I'm not trying to drink. It's just like I kind of feel like, in a way, it just feels like to her in a sense is where like I feel like she like sees me as like, well, what am I here for if I don't partake these things? And I feel like, in that sense where she's like far gone. And I always like really like thought to myself that like, I just want somebody to like go on this fucking journey with me and like give me this hope, but it just kind of feel like, men get in the way of like the relationships that I have with these people. Like, and it's like, yeah, we might talk about basically like, decentering them and whatnot, but I feel like only one of us is actually like applying that rule, actually applying those steps and actually like doing the inner work. And I can't, sorry, sorry about that. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, my phone's charging. Sorry. But I just really be feeling like, I really be feeling like only one of us is like really just applying the work. And I really be about that life. And I feel like it's not really in return. And I don't expect that out of them. But it's like, it's kind of like, kind of disappointing when you start to see like their actions is not aligning up to their like, to what they're saying. And it's only used to only be in proximity to me and what it is that I have. And the fact that it could possibly be your family member is really disappointing. It's really disappointing. You know what I'm saying? We used to be so close, and now I just feel like, I'm losing her almost like every day because of this, this modern dating culture. Like, because of just the way this whole thing is just set up, just the need to show people that, you're desirable and that you got it like that, but nobody really wins in this system. But, I thought, I always thought that we had like this understanding that nobody wins. But because nobody wins in this sort of like the way the system is set up, that don't mean pretty much throw yourself in the fire because none of this matters. No, you still have to like give a shit about yourself. You still have to like, you still have to like, care about yourself. Even if, that don't mean put yourself at unnecessary risk and put yourself through these things because you feel like nothing matters. You may have, saying, you got one life, but you know what I'm saying, it is physically painful. It is physically painful to like to go through that. Life may not, be great, but I always felt that, you know what I'm saying, I can't be in physical pain like that or mental pain. I can't do it. Hold on. But yeah, it feels like every day, you know, she's becoming like really distant and distant. And I feel like drugs and I feel like, you know, the men that, pretty surrounds herself with has a lot to do with it. And this ties into me basically because what I did was I pretty much cut my hair short, right? And not because of, any reason. My hair was healthy and stuff and like that, but I did it because I wanted to get rid of, just negative energy because people would touch my hair and touch me, you know, just without asking. And I wanted to like just get it off of me. And I kind of realized like the difference even in how she treats me and how other people treat me I because I'm not conforming to this thing of femininity, and I feel like it comes from this intimidation, the fact that, you know what I'm saying, you cannot control me. If I do conform, in a sense, they, subconsciously think in a sense where they think that they can control you. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like when it all really does feel like a performance, but when you have like short hair, and even as a black woman, and it's like I'm fine with pretty much being ignored, but I notice the difference. And I notice a lot more people don't fuck with me. And I think that's great. I think that's honestly fucking great, you know? Like, I get taken more seriously. When I had, longer hair, you know what I'm saying? I feel like no matter the boundaries that I set, people just kept crossing them over to where I have to, like, elbow people to, like, don't come near me, in a sense like that. But to touch back onto what I was talking about in terms of, like, the relationship between me and my cousin, and I don't want to let this go because I really have hope for it because we've been through so much together, and I don't even want to believe that, that the need for power, the need to be seen as desirable, and the need to be seen as somebody winning in this system, or patriarchy is what they call it, is so, or, and even drugs is even so much more important than having a friendship with another woman. And the things that we talked about is just really disappointing because it's like I thought we were on the same page, but I guess not. And, you know, I realized relapsing in that, even in that moment, it wasn't even fucking worth it because I realized I don't even do this shit for me. I do this shit for other people. I do this shit, basically like for her. So she doesn't, necessarily, throw me to the side. You know, I already had, my whole like parents, in a sense, like throw me to the side and cast me out as weird. And I kind of still like kind of suffer from that, which is why I held on and I'm holding on for like so long for this, for this thing to change because I do not like being thrown to the side that way. It really triggers my like abandonment issues in a sense. But I learned that starting back on the drinking and on that and whatnot, it's not worth it. It wasn't worth it. And it still even enlightened me more about the relationships that I have around me, the closest one that I had around me. And I thought that, as much as she said that I was, basically like her sister, but it's like, no, you just see me as a resource. If I didn't have any of those devices, I don't think you would never be around me for that long. And that hurts. And I never thought that I would end up, doing this whole thing alone. And that makes me want to just get the hell out of Chicago. Change my name and get the fuck up out of here. Because I'm tired of the people here. And I know that, there's the same type of people everywhere, but I'm just sick of this town. It's so depressing, and even just seeing closest people to me living the lives that they have, it just makes me angrier. It makes me angry for change because, you know, it's the hope for me that I don't ever want to end up like that ever. And it's probably like the reason as to why, you know, I guess, you know, some children are just born with like fighting spirits, and I guess that's why I came to that point. I tried moderation. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Even though I only drink once a month and I only have at least 3 to 4 drinks, it is like I don't even necessarily believe that I have the control to do it. But like I was saying, seeing the people around me and the lives that they live, and also trying to bring me in with that bullshit, it makes me angry for change. It makes me even more angrier. And it makes me more eager to get the fuck up out of this town. But yeah, and it also made me realize like my basically like my usage, even though I might not, even though people think that I don't have a problem, right? But it's like as long as I've experienced trauma, the like even like the more that I'm, pretty much predisposed to like addiction. And I don't want to even, want to I don't even want to even go there to even like really even see if I do or if I don't, because, that's just, a dangerous line that I don't want to cross. But even then, I just don't want to end up like that. I don't want to end up like centering desirability and power over my own well being, or the desire to just show people that, oh, I have it just so way much better, the need to be better than, other women or just other people over my own mental well being. Because a lot of people that do that, they're just right in the mind. And now that I really see what's going on, it's like, no, I'm not fooled. I'm not fooled at all. And I come to the conclusion, like, what I'm saying, the people that I looked up to, it's like, I come to the conclusion, like, bro, I never want to be like you. Now that I see, my usage comes from basically, having this image of basically like, this image of, being relatable. I feel like if I don't smoke or if I don't drink, people are gonna, make it seem like I'm a goody two shoes. And what I would do is I would try to like prove to them that I'm not that person, or like I'm not stuck up and things like that. And I know, deep down inside, like I need to stop, trying to prove to people that already have this like assumption about me, because it's never going to change. Or, it just comes with my usage comes from also just wanting to be like cool. Subconsciously, like, I want to be cool. You know, I want my flowers and things like that. But of course, I realize like it's not cool to, you know, it's just not cool to constantly just hook up with people. This is what I see. This is what I see. And this is what is trying this is what they're trying to like tell me, or make it seem like it's such a wonderful fun thing to do. No. What's not cool is like, just hooking up with people, constantly smoking weed, and, basically just, constantly like, putting yourself in like these dangerous situations to finesse people. That's not cool. And I used to feel like I had to like prove myself, or I used to feel like I had to like, match up with them if, because I didn't want them to look at me like, like I'm bougie or something. And when in fact, there's nothing wrong with that. What is so uncool about what is so uncool about basically just having like a right mind? What is so uncool about caring about your mental health and putting it first? What is what is so uncool about not entertaining not entertaining like this finesse culture, this, hookup culture and things like that. This drug and alcohol culture, you know what I mean? What is so uncool about that? I really did want it to be, and I'm going to the AA meeting tomorrow. At least I went without a month. I went a month without drinking, and so we're like back to it. We're like back to like square one, but I don't feel as bad. But I'm like kind of like resenting what I thought, what I thought the relationship that I had, but the fact that I'm noticing that the addiction, in another person is getting like deeper and deeper, and it's taking over like, the whole person. And I feel like I don't even know them anymore. And it's like, bro, this is gonna be like such a fucking like it's gonna be such a very like kind of like lonely ride. But that I know that it would it would be it would keep my sanity intact. But I don't like the fact that, I would basically kind of in a sense become like invisible. But maybe it's a good thing to be with what's out here in the world now. And I was thinking about this like, in a way where it's like, even though we don't want to be a part of these things that we see is not even worth it, it's the option to choose that we want, you know? And that's what I really hate about, just human nature. And that's what I hate just about being a human in general. It's so complicated. It's so complex, and just living in this like, I don't know if I'm being negative in a sense, but I think that like just being like a human being in general, it's filthy. The world to me is filthy, and I strive, what I'm saying? The thing is, I strive so much for purity, and I just hate being in the world and its filth that comes with it. And the only time where you're pretty much pure and innocent is when you're a baby. And you can't stay a fucking baby forever. And that's what I hate. That's what I hate about just human nature and the existence as a whole. I don't like it. And I came to this conclusion, but I'm saying, I'm still going. I'm still keep going on, and I know that, yes, life gets better, but I still don't like the fact that, the filth that comes with just existing. Just the filth that comes with just being human. The filth that just comes with the filth that comes just pretty much once you become a certain age. I don't like it. And people say that they may think it might be a way of just being too hard on myself, but no, I'm obsessed with purity because I feel like it keeps my eye on the prize of what it is I'm actually here for. I'm not trying to be like, Jesus. I'm not trying to be like a god, but I'm just trying to I'm just trying to be pure in a sense of where it's like I'm just not, I don't know how to explain it, but I know I want to be pure. I don't want to be perfect, but I want to be pure. I want to be pure in what pure means to me. Yeah, I'm going to the AA meeting tomorrow and talk to them about it. It's just the fact that, I don't want to do this. I hate the fact that it's going to be like a lonely, like sort of like experience, but to me, because I'm just so used to having like a lot of people around me, and I'm so used to basically like, I feel like, I feel like this pressure to like constantly like, entertain or fill the space with the people that I'm around when I don't have vices or things like that. I feel like I have to like overcompensate when I don't have something for them to use me for. And I don't want to stress myself out about that anymore. And I feel like the only way to just completely get away from that is to really get the fuck up out of this town, you know? Which, like I said before, I'm pretty sure that these experiences happen everywhere. But at least I would have a fresh start somewhere else now that I know, what to look for. But I came to the conclusion that, yeah, the people that I've wanted to be, or, the people that I felt like I had to, mirror them to like have a connection, you know, I could never do the things that they do because I'm not built like that. I'm not built like that. And then only that, I kind of see how it's just eating away at them. And this is not even just being judgmental. It's really compassion and like, concern. Because at some point I was there, you know what I'm saying? What I'm pretty much going through now, it seems pretty tame because what I went through like in my early 20s, it was bad. But now, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty tame, you know? I used to be drinking every day, smoking weed every day. And now only, now I just, slimmed down to at least once a month and one day. But just seeing that, it used to be so bad, but seeing that it's like, why, saying, why did I used to think that I had to be this? But no, it's so many factors that go into why I felt that I needed to like be a certain way, around my family members or my cousin to keep a relationship, you know. Not only is like I'm in recovery, but pretty much I'm still pretty much in a relationship with another addict, you know, while I'm in recovery. But I also don't want to, I don't want to let go because, that was the only family that I had. I thought my sister was my family, but, that's dead. My cousin was the only, family that I ever had. But, I promise you it's not going to be. I know like most of my videos has been pretty like negative in a sense, but I hope it wasn't. I just seen it as a way to like kind of like take, to like basically take you guys with me as if I don't know how to explain it to like make it seem like, like you're in my point of view in a sense, right? I wanted to like pretty much connect with you guys, not to be like negative, but this is like a life full of like ups and downs. So, it's going to be like that. I'm just giving it to you real. There's no other way that I could do it. So, I'm going to drink my tea. I hope you guys have a good afternoon. No, not an afternoon, evening. And I'm going to pretty much update tomorrow. So I'll see you guys